Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is doing well. Today I have 4 Reddit stories for you guys. All credit goes to the original posters of these stories, and I will link them in my description. If I pronounce anything wrong, I do apologize. My school is on lockdown. The reason behind it is very disturbing. I, 17-year-old female, go to high school near a forest where the school forbids us to visit. My other friends and I have always wanted to see what secrets are behind those big tall trees. We have planned to sneak into the forest just before school on Thursday. It is currently Wednesday, so tomorrow will be a game changer. School was just about to end when our classroom doors locked. They were sealed shut. I stood up to see everyone in shock, and the teacher was trying to calm down the crying girl. A few minutes later, while trying to calm everyone down, we heard screaming, screams of agony. I rushed to look out the window, but before I could see anything, my teacher stepped in front of me and told me it's better if I don't see anything. I sat down, curious to what had caused the girl so much pain, that she had to scream. The classroom became deadly silent. Still lost in my thoughts about the screaming girl, my eyes became heavy, and I closed them for a while. I was awoken by another scream, followed by more, then a loud bang. I then pushed my way through the crowd to students to the window, and what I saw next horrified not just me, but everyone who stood and looked out the window. We were all petrified of what could happen to us if we could be their next victim. I saw this thing. I have no idea what it's called. It has long black hair. It's covered in blood. There's blood dripping from its mouth, and it's wearing a white dress that comes to its knees and had holes in it. You can see it has been severely injured. As it sees its next victim running down the hallway, it screeches and runs on all fours. Head faced backwards, it runs after the girl from class 8. I knew that girl. She was in my gym class. I sadly had to watch her slowly get devoured by the creature. I tugged on my friend's shirt and told her to see what was happening. All she said in return was, "It can sense us. We're next." I felt shivers throughout my body. I felt my legs get numb. I heard a loud knock 3 times before it was dead silence. Everyone was petrified for what could happen. The girl who was crying suddenly stopped and turned to face the door. "I do not have a good feeling about this," she said to her boyfriend, whose fear was visible on his face. The one window that was open suddenly closed. It was strange because no one was anywhere near that window. I could feel that something was off. I just had no idea what. I reached down for a chair, ready to throw it at anything that came into the classroom. After seconds of having all the fear and anxiousness build up inside us, it had finally entered. As it walked, the air was heavy and the room started to smell like rotting corpse. It turned to look at the girl and her boyfriend, its face pale white. I don't dare to look at it in its eyes, but they did. It screeched and ran at them. The way it ran made me want to puke. It looked very disturbing. I watched in horror as the creature was slowly devouring them. I took my friend's hand and ran out of the classroom, and we both looked at each other when we reached the hallway, our eyes wide open to what we were witnessing. Dead bodies laying all over the hallways. How could one creature eat so much, unless there was more? My friend, still standing there in shock, let out a scream, which she should not have done. The creature bolted across the room, leaving the couple behind, and took my friend in its hand and munched on her. I slowly but softly went back into the classroom, trying my best not to let out loud sobs as I watched the monster eat her piece by piece. She screamed loudly and cried out for help, but there was absolutely nothing I could do. With tears streaming down my face, I gradually closed the door. I walked to the corner of the room and sobbed softly. The teacher called us all and told us something that was upsetting and very shocking. This information I am about to disclose has to be the most crucial part of what is happening. He told us that this happens every 20 years. This creature lives in the forest, and that is why we were forbid to enter the forest. He also said it feeds on students of this school as revenge for building the school on his homeland. The creature was a human that has been bitten by some other entity. We cannot fully explain the origin of the creature. There are some secrets that you would be better off without. We have still yet to find out what and where the entity is. I asked how to escape from here, but all the teacher had in response was, there's no escape. Just be quiet and don't look at it in the eye, and it won't attack you unless it's extremely hungry. I'm currently writing this while sitting in the classroom, still hearing it munching on other students, not caring about their screams. I have no idea how to cope with all these noises. I'm starting to lose hope. I'm wondering if we will ever get out. Everyone in the class is dead except me and one other kid who looks like he's about to burst out crying. I can't get out of here yet. I have to wait. I've been waiting 3 days and 17 hours. I have no hope left. I still have no explanation to anything, but being here for 3 days is taking a toll on my health. I just want to leave. I can see when a person is going to die. It may sound crazy, but when a person dies, I could see it. Just like a witch can see a person's future, I can see a person's death. The curse or ability, I'll let you decide what it is, must meet one condition. That of having a connection with a person. Connection can be of any type: love, spiritual, hate, sadness. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I can see a week before a person's death. For example, let's take you. Let's say we are friends and we have a relationship of love. Everything is beautiful, there is no problem. We talk and eat something at a restaurant or something you want. At the end, we will hold each other's arms, and from here, things get interesting. When I make skin contact, I'll be able to look at you sitting in your car driving down a busy road, and I'll be in the right seat watching, waiting for the inevitable. It's evening and you're tired. I notice this quite obviously because Santa Ini walks you in your place. At some point, you shut down. You think, what can happen if you do this for just a few seconds? Well, at that moment, you fall asleep and you no longer control the car. And from here, you realize what is happening. You shouldn't, to explain. You thought I'm an antisocial guy who lives away from society, but I'm not a very social guy. I'm used to the fact that people die. It's something normal besides generally only my old relatives or my idiot friends die, the more often, so nothing unusual. I know what you're thinking. Hey, if I were the person writing this, I could save my friends. But no, you can't do this. I tried once with my younger sister. Anna was 17 years old when she died. It was a week before Christmas. She and I were sitting in front of the fireplace. We were both drinking hot chocolate. At one point, we started playing a game. I don't know exactly what it's called, but you have to clap your hands in all positions, up, down, etc. When our hands joined, I could see. Anna was lying on the floor. She was in a house I knew, but I couldn't remember until I saw the bastard. He was Anna's ex-boyfriend. I don't remember the name of the human garbage, but I know he caused a lot of problems for my sister, from cheating to hitting her pretty hard. I remember when she was 15 years old and came home with a bruised right eye. Mom and Dad weren't home, so I asked her what happened. She told me how she had argued with her boyfriend and he hit her. And the next second I wanted to go to him and show him what it means to beat his sister to death. But luckily for him, Anna stopped me. Well, for 2 days, then I made sure that the bastard left my sister alone. However, since I left town, it seems they were back together. As much as I love my sister, I can't help but say that sometimes she makes bad, stupid decisions. As I said, Anna was on the floor. She was still alive, unconsciousness. After a few moments of silence, the killer appears. He was holding a kitchen knife in his left hand and was approaching Anna step by step, and I was watching what was happening, not knowing what to do, as if I was seeing the death of another person dear to me for the first time. That man approached my sister, raised the knife, and said something I didn't hear. You chose this. It's not my fault. It's your fault. Sometime after, I woke up again randomly. In the next moment, he started stabbing her 7 times thinking it was all a bad dream. The blood was flowing over Anna's white skin. And it was not. In the next moment, I was back to the original time. Sure, my bed was there from then, but with her by my side alive, with moldy green. She asked me what happened, but I told her that nothing happened. All of the dead bodies. In the evening, I told my parents that I was going to meet some friends, standing up, chanting my name. So I asked them for the car key. I lied. I was not anywhere with a friend, but Anna's murderer. I had a knife and some duct tape with me. Time passed, and Anna lived for a few more months. She was not killed. She had a car accident, she turned 18, and got her driver's license. One thing comforted me in my suffering. That thing was the fact that the human that walked with my sister was dead, buried in the forest. My house was filled with all my dead relatives. It became an endless corridor of them. My family goes way back the years, longer than you could imagine. But now it's just me, all alone. A few nights ago, I woke up to find 14 dead bodies in my room. I screamed. I wailed around. I shouted. I panicked, and I waltzed in circles over the legs of the dead bodies. As I ran out of my bedroom, I noticed more and more dead bodies, just sitting there, but I noticed something. There was my mom and my granddad, who both died 2 years ago. I couldn't really make out who anyone else was. The weird thing was, they looked fine. In fact, they looked exactly how they were before they died. Same clothes and everything. As I was carrying out my investigation as to the piles of dead bodies in my hallway, I heard an unfamiliar voice call my name from downstairs. I immediately froze. I went down, trampling over dead body after dead body. Everything was now silent around the house, but as I was walking around, more and more demonic whispers called my name. The bodies would come to life and shout my name and even begin to say their own before turning to their dead state. And I had confirmed it. My whole bloodline was in my house, all dead. Sometime after, I woke up again randomly, fully aware of what just happened, thinking it was all a bad dream. I lifted my head up, and it was not my bedroom. Sure, my bed was there, but it was a long corridor with moldy green wallpaper. All of the dead bodies were in a long line, standing up. They stopped as loud noise of something running came towards me. I screamed like a little girl. A demonic, fully white figure came darting towards me, and it didn't even seem to change direction, not even a blink to its left or right or behind. So I acted fast and did what I thought might work and save my life and end this historical family torture of this weird creature, because I kind of assumed this was how it ended for all my family. So I forced myself up against the slimy, moldy green wallpaper as hard and as far back as I could, and to my surprise, it worked. I assumed that the figure would change direction to face me and the wall, but it didn't. The figure kept the exact same rapid pace, darting down the never-ending corridor, even after passing me. It clearly wasn't programmed to do anything else when confronted. My first instinct was to immediately look at where the dead bodies were lined up. They were gone. A sort of confetti-looking message shot up, reading, "You saved our souls. About time someone did. We all love you." What I think was the ashes of everyone slowly dissolved, and a countdown of 2 minutes and 30 seconds revealed itself. When the timer had finished, I had returned to my room, sweating and crying. The same message was on my bedroom wall. I woke up half expecting something else to happen, so that demon could get its hand on me, but no dead bodies, and no unnaturally long corridors. Everything seems to be back to normal. But this may not be the case forever. I think that creature wants me dead, but maybe me saving their souls saved me. I'm just glad I don't have a family yet, in fear that this would happen. I already hate to know that this is probably how it ended for the people I love the most. Men playing in the woods. In high school, my friend and I both 17 male, we'll call him Jay, frequented trails to go for smoke walks. On this fall afternoon, we went to a familiar trail in a moderately wooded area. One blunt into our walk, and an odd man comes on our path. He startled us. He was middle-aged and plainly dressed. But I think he has some condition. He looked like a stocky Ethan Hawke with crazy eyes, and he spoke to us like a child. The childish man was rambling about hide-and-go-seek, frantically asking, "Have you seen 2 kids?" Jay and I were both puzzled. We took obvious note of the creepy man in the woods asking about kids, but we didn't know what to do or say. We ignored him and continued on the trail to spark another. On our way back to the trail access, we see the childish man on the path, yet now with a tall, slim man. Jay urged me to get us out of there. Jay was already non-confrontational, and we both felt an eerie tension, yet the whole thing was fishy, and I didn't want to regret doing nothing if some kids were at risk. I asked, "Why the hell is your friend asking about some kid?" They both give the same weird hide-and-go-seek with 2 kids. The tall man claimed to be the father. He was more with it than his childish companion, and he kept questioning my concern for his kid. The tall man was getting angry, veering on threatening. I had a bad gut feeling, but decided to leave this whole weird encounter behind. Yet on our way out of the woods, we see a boy and a girl stand up from a wheat field. They just rose up like a poem. I observed to see if they needed help, yet they were cheerfully waving at us. I held a thumbs up and they signaled back. I got in the car with Jay and we got the hell out of there. Was it just a good father and uncle playing innocent games with their 2 kids? Was I being nosy and blowing things out of proportion? To this day, I bear an uneasy guilt anxiety for those kids. I never thought to write about the story. Jay and I still reminisce on it. I'll never forget the moment we first came upon the childish man. Edit. I just want to clarify that this was almost definitely a harmless case. However, at the time, it was so fishy that I was positive we were being filmed in a special Woodland episode of What Would You Do? That said, I was also aware of the time that the first man more than likely had a disability of some kind. His appearance at first was truly startling, and the component of the tall man definitely raised my suspicions. Thank you for listening. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and liking my channel, and I will see you on the next one.